Good morning and happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope everybody's feeling great today. My name's Angie Atkinson. On this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. As you all know, I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll get going. All right, guys. So I thought it would be a good time to check in with you guys because I'm so sorry, first of all, that I'm late this morning. It's been one of those days. This summit is kicking my butt, but I'm okay with that. Um, I am enjoying it very much, and it's a lot being live. However, I love it. I've met some amazing people. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Renee and Amy. Um, and I am really psyched about everything that's happening. Good morning, Arlene and Malta. So what I want to tell you is a couple things. First of all, I apologize for these sessions being shorter this week. They will go back to normal Friday morning. Secondly, um, this channel has been given an award, so stay tuned later for a video on that. Third, I'm real psyched. Good morning, Valerie. I'm real psyched about our guest today. We have, let's see, Oceana LeBlanc, who is a spiritual healer. We have Laura Miolia. We have Allison Alvarado and Bernice Oliver today on the schedule, so stay tuned for all of those awesome people. That's Coach Mo. You guys might remember her. Good morning, Renee, Cole, D. Toll, David, and you guys you saw David. Cole was supposed to be in yesterday, but I don't know. There was some kind of a confusion about his appearance. I guess he didn't make it in. Cole, what happened? But we will definitely have him on the channel soon anyway, even outside of this. Thank you. Moving on. Says, hi, Angie. Congrats on the reward. Love this series. Great idea from a great lady. Thank you. Thank you. Lillian Gardner in the house says, I'm here, Angie. Good morning, love. Good morning, Miss Lillian. How are you? And good morning, Malta. And good morning, Jay. Maybe. All right. Rose Hargrove said, last night was awful and I'm numb. It got scary. Tell me what happened, Rose. Rick said, Angie, the summit has been awesome. Thank you for putting this together for everyone. Thank you. The summit has been a lot of fun for me. I really hope that you guys find it helpful. So I did this because I think it's so good for us to have so much positivity in one place. And, anyway, stay tuned for more of that. But like I said, I'm just checking in quick. I'm not sure. Anyway, Rose, tell me what happened last night. So I'm only going to be here for a few minutes this morning, but I will be back, like I said, at 10:30 which is in about 50 something minutes. It's 9:51 here now. Oh, Cole, I'm sorry. I was also on Zoom and waiting, and I did not see you come in. We'll have to get it fixed because you guys definitely want to meet Cole. He's amazing. Okay, moving on. Hold on, let me scroll up here. Says, could use some advice on what's going on in my divorce right now. Should I send an email? You can send an email, or you can ask me here. My email is very, very full. I get a lot of email every day, so I sometimes miss them. I try to catch them all, but I sometimes miss them. But you're more than welcome to try that, or you can tell me here you feel vulnerable and scared. I totally understand that. Stop the Chaos says, good morning. I've gone along with everything he wanted. Now that those wishes came true, it's not what he wants. Is this how it will always be? It's sad and sick. He will never find joy. No, that's the unfortunate thing, is that going along with everything they want in the most bizarre sense, they sort of don't want you to. I mean, they want you to in the moment, but sometimes, depending on what they want, sometimes they decide that they are disgusted by what you've done, or that they, you don't have any sort of, backbone, or, they'll always look for some reason to tear you down, even if you do exactly what they want. Are you considering leaving still? Stop the Chaos. Let me know. Adriana Bordeaux in the house says, good morning. I love your fall vibes. Thank you. I can dig it. I appreciate you. Rose Hargrove says, my son got angry about his car breaking down. Then he blamed me because I've been having some problems with my back. he's sick of me being sick. I don't understand. He screamed and carried on. His anger was awful, and he told me I didn't deserve to sit and eat, even though I paid for everything. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. How are you feeling about this today? I bet you're not well. I'm so sorry. Is your son typically abusive toward you like that, or is this a new thing for him? Jillian says hi, late to work. Oh, sorry, Jillian, but I'm glad you're here. Cole says, FYI, you've done a kick-ass job with this summit. Oh my gosh, talk about learning. Thank you, Cole. I'm so disappointed that we didn't connect yesterday, but I want you to come on the channel and do a guest appearance because you are so amazing and you have such wonderful things to say, and I think so many people will be inspired by your amazingness. So please do accept the invitation we're sending you to come back on the channel. Even so, and if for any reason we have anybody else come at, not make it, maybe you'd be willing to fill in, let me know. Okay, Bonnie says, I can't square my religious beliefs about divorce with my situation. The narc hasn't left me. He just mentally tortures me, and he hasn't hit me. Can't seem to tell God why. Oh, sweetie. Okay, let me say this. I had a client who was a Jehovah's Witness, and she said to me, of course, that in her particular religion, divorce was really shunned and frowned upon and not part of the deal. However, she said that if someone, and I think this is where your issue is, she said if someone was being abused, that would be a reason to go. However, like you, the mental torture is not good enough. And I understand that, and I'm so sorry that you're in that situation, but I have to tell you, I can't imagine any God or strong, would want you to tolerate abuse. Even in the Bible, it says something about the man is supposed to, treat his wife like Christ would treat the church or something like that. So I don't see, I can't imagine that Christ would, and I'm not trying to talk, religious philosophy here, but, knowing what I know about the whole Christ situation, I can't imagine he would mentally abuse the church. So tell me your thoughts on that. Rose says, he also doesn't like that I'm going to school. He says the money could be used better or elsewhere. It's my money. Is it any of his business, Rose? I mean, that's your money. Why does he think he gets to treat you that way? I'm so sorry. I think you need to stand up and explain to him who the parent is and whose money he's talking about, because he doesn't get to control your money. He's your child, right? I mean, I understand he's probably an adult child, but still, that's not fair. And I wouldn't tolerate that from my adult child, I'll tell you what. It's your business, not his. Malta says he's sorry to hear it. And good morning to Jamie and Jillian. Moving on says, my ex-narcissist is going for full custody. He's dating a mom in my daughter's 3rd grade class. Oh my gosh. My daughter's assistant teacher is a girlfriend's grandmother. Oh, I bet you're getting dirty looks at school. That's ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Moving on, I think that, okay, for one thing, everything. I hope that you've been involved in, I know you said you were seeing some of the summit. I want you to stay close to that summit. Jillian did an amazing appearance on the summit. She's an attorney and she gave some great advice. And I am giving all of the stuff that Jillian created away to the free pass as well, as far as her documents and stuff that she created, because I think they're so important. And I know when we're going through a custody battle and we're going through a divorce, we might not always have a lot of money. So I went ahead and put her stuff into the free pass. So if you haven't signed up for that, you can still do it and you can still get the stuff. So go to lifemakeover.org and do that. It's a terrible situation, but you've got to gray rock them and you've got to be your sweet self with your daughter. Just ignore the people who are giving you the dirty looks. Smile at them like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So don't let them put you in that little box. I want you to, when you see them, I want you to smile at them and pretend you don't see those dirty looks and be there just for your daughter. Ignore everything else that's not related to that little girl that you're taking to school and dealing with, okay? He's not going to get full custody if you are being a good mom. And I know that you are. I want you to document all of that stuff, but don't talk about it except to your attorney. That would be my advice. Jillian, if you're able to, if you can give moving on any advice here, that would be much appreciated. Jillian, like I said, she's an attorney. And David H. is here, but I don't know if he can help with child custody stuff. He's our police detective in Florida. Jillian says, they will never find joy. This is what kept me hooked in. He kept making me believe that I could make him happy. I ended up having to save myself. It was a hard lesson to learn. And that's the truth. They do not find joy. And even if they find it for a second, they'll quickly get over it in search of something better or something bigger or something different. That's the unfortunate conundrum of the narcissist. One of them. Cole says, thank you. My pleasure. It's true. And Amy says to Rose, you have done nothing wrong. Your son needs a dose of reality. Stand strong, my dear. And she is absolutely right. Moving on says, girlfriend is named in my preliminary hearing for PSS. What's PSS? I don't know that one. Child support and attorney fees because ex spends on girlfriend and her children, but does not pay me enough money to live. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know what PSS is. I'm sorry for my ignorance on that one. Good morning, Angie L. I feel like I haven't seen you in 100 years. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Cole says, yes, I can. I'll have my stuff with me. Okay, great. Thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate you. Ellen May says to Bonnie, look up Eden Kelly. Tommy D says, morning peeps, let us rock. Hello, Tamala. How are you doing? And Melta says, good morning, Tommy D. Tommy D, I loved that you posted the picture of your new TV and my face on it on Facebook. That was awesome. Thank you so much. That was so cool. Moving on says, I've been instructed not to get a job. I've been a dependent spouse and a stay-at-home mom since my daughter was first born 11 years ago. Well, then do what your attorney says. I think you have the right to do that, and you probably deserve some spousal support here, given that, because, you know, whether they like to admit it or not, if you had been working, you would have been paying daycare, you would have been paying for a second car or an extra car, extra gas, extra health insurance, extra car insurance, extra clothing, extra lunch money, et cetera, et cetera. And if she had any emergencies and you weren't there because you were at work, you'd be paying extra for that stuff. That stuff adds up. You deserve to be, you know, to at least continue in the lifestyle that you are involved with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Moving on says, I miss Jillian's talk. Thank you for giving it free. Yeah, you will get the documents, all the documents for free that Jillian did. And I've got some other stuff for you too that I'll stick in there. Okay, let's see. Good morning, Barbara. She says, just another day existing. I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. I can't even talk. Moving on says, I feel stuck, and I absolutely understand you on that one. Rose says he's also bipolar. He's been like this for years, but he had gotten better. He refuses to take medicine, and he's gotten involved with a fundamentalist church. They tell him he's right justified. Well, Rose, maybe you need to step back from him. Is he living with you in your home right now, or how's that working out? And Tommy D says, God doesn't want us to tolerate abuse. He's a loving God, not an abuser, but a loving, caring father. So keep that in mind. Tommy D knows what he's talking about. Jillian says, Jehovah's Witnesses, unless they have changed, leaving is an option, but remarriage is not. Oh, yeah, unless their spouse has committed adultery. That's right. That's right. That's what she told me. Perhaps their teachings haven't changed that I'm aware of. That is exactly what she said to me, but she said that yeah, adultery would be the only reason they could. But she did say something about they could leave if they had been physically abused. I guess they still couldn't remarry, which I think is ridiculous. But no disrespect to anyone. I just think that's unfair, especially if they've been abused. Why should they have to be married to someone abusing them? I'm not trying to talk about religion. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's see. Bonnie says, that's true, Angie. I guess abuse mentally, spiritually, and physically may not have been addressed specifically, but at times we need to read between the lines and use wisdom and discernment. Absolutely, I agree with you. Yes. Jillian says, Christ suffered the mental and physical anguish on the cross. I was extremely torn apart when I filed for my annulment, and it ultimately made me go back to the narcissist before I knew what he was. I think a lot of us could probably relate to that feeling. Renee says, I think it is great that you are offering Jillian's tools, yet there are so many Yes, there are so many that need the info she provided. Yeah. And another thing, another tool that's available to you is if you go to queenbeing.com/plan, PLAN, there are a couple of downloads for you for if you are in the process of leaving the narcissist. So that could be helpful for you as well. Tommy says, hey, Thrivers, the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you grip. Okay. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I'm silly today. Jillian says, what I learned was that I had a false sense of guilt. Christ does not want us to suffer, and it would be hard to serve him under those circumstances. There you go. David H. is awesome. Renee says, I agree. He is awesome. Bonnie says, yes, save yourself. It is a conundrum. It sure is. David H. says, I'm sorry, but child custody is a civil issue and not a law enforcement issue. That's what I thought. He says, the only exception is if the judge orders the police to enforce the custody order and it's written in the order. I remember you saying that now. Thank you, David. PSS, post-separation support. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I was married to somebody who had nothing, so I didn't get anything like that. But I also didn't get child support, but I was supposed to. So the kid's 20 now, and dude still owes me $60,000 or $70,000. I'll never see, but that's okay. Not my problem. I mean, I can't dwell on anything I can't control. I know what I'm saying. All right. Tommy D says, I found myself at a crossroads after surviving this, and it was revealed to me that it was time to get serious about God. Okay, I can dig it. Wait a minute. Cole says, yes, they will forget it within minutes. Look at those people who are looking at you. Imagine they are people you like. Great point, Cole. Thank you. And Cole knows what he's talking about. He's been through it. I'll tell you what. Tommy D says, you look wonderful on my smart TV, sweet chicks. Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate you. Bonnie says, my husband used to say, you have 3 hots and a cot. What's the problem? He's a Neanderthal man. Yeah, sure sounds like it. Yeah, like you're in prison or something, right? I feel like that's what they say about prison. Cole says, you have a ton of strength. Remember, the narcissist is doing this because they know how strong you are. I promise. Good point. Mr. Omar King is here. Hello and welcome, sir. And Malta says, good morning to you. Moving on, says, I have 3 children, an 11-year-old daughter. Oh, that's tough. An 8-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter. Oh my gosh. That is so hard. But, you know, with having 3 children, that's a lot of work right there. Imagine how much it costs to send 3 children to daycare. That's a freaking salary right there. I'm not even kidding. You know, you deserve to be supported, and you deserve to have your children. You know, the fact that you're a stay-at-home mom for them actually should benefit you in court, right, Jillian? Doesn't, because she's the one that's there for them physically. I feel like that's what Jillian said in our session, but I've talked to a lot of people and I don't want to misquote anybody. Jillian says, I wish I was a millionaire because then I could litigate the cases of the truly worthy. Me too, girl. I wish I was too, so I could help more and more people. I would, if I were a millionaire, Jillian, I would make you a millionaire too, so that we could both help a lot more people. Bonnie says, how could I have gotten mixed up in this nightmare and worse yet, stayed and was snowed for 30 years? Oh, Bonnie, you know, it's such a hard thing. I want you to know this. I want you to know that just like everyone else here, you were probably, like you said, you were snowed at the beginning. We fall for these people for so many different reasons. They pretend to be the perfect people for us until they get us, and then we see the mask come off and the devalue and the discard happen over and over again. I don't want you to beat yourself up about it, because they also do this thing where they give us those crumbs sometimes. You know, as soon as they get through the devalue and discard cycle, they do the hoovering thing, even when we haven't left them or they haven't left us. They suck us back in and they love bomb us. And then we think, oh my gosh, we were so silly to think everything was so terrible. Look how great everything really is. We're going to be okay. And then shortly thereafter, we catch ourselves being devalued again and discarded again and sucked back in again. It's a cycle that's very painful. And for someone whose religious beliefs involve not leaving your husband, it only makes sense. You probably have a lot to think about and a lot of beliefs to review, religious or otherwise, to make sure that they're really yours and not beliefs that someone else put in your mind. I know that after I went no contact with my primary narcissist, the first one in my life, I had to reevaluate my entire life and reevaluate everything I believed to be true in the world. So it might be time for you to start thinking about that as well. Yeah. Bonnie says, thank you. Cole Anderson says, amen. Doreen Brown says, there it is. There it is. Thank you, Doreen Brown. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17 to 32, God does not want us to suffer abuse. Thank you. Tommy says, Jillian, I believe the narc derails us and distracts us from God's plan in our lives. And if it can destroy us, it succeeds its assignment. Interesting. Thank you, Malta, for putting the link to plan in the thing, in the chat here. Tommy says, Bonnie, your life is just beginning. Our time here is very short. It's our eternal life that I focus on. Interesting. Malta says to Jillian, your interview provided so much inspiration. I am glad that there are professionals who deal with cases involving narcissism. I feel like the world is a better place because of people like you, and I totally agree with that, 100%. Jillian, honestly. And he says, thank you. And Jillian says, if the mother or father has performed most of the custodial care, the court should take that into most of the custodial caretaking, the court should take that into account. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Because it is what the children are used to. At least that's how it is in her jurisdiction. So keep that in mind. Tommy D says, I've unplugged from the matrix and I've found the truth. And there you go. Bonnie says it's like Groundhog Day, like running on a carousel you cannot get off of. I totally agree. Jillian says, oh, Malta, thank you so much. Cole says this is one of his favorites. God didn't have... Oh, you're so sweet, Cole. I love you. He says, God didn't have time to make a nobody. He only has time to make a somebody. Perfect. Perfect. Love, love, love it. Okay, you guys, I love you all so much, but I've got to run. I'm going to be back here in 20 minutes with my very first guest of the day, the lovely and talented Oceana LeBlanc. She is so fun and she has so many good ideas. She's like a spiritual healer. She's beautiful. You'll love her. All right. So stay tuned for her. And I will see you guys in 20 minutes. Hugs and love you all. See you soon. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of my day and a part of my life. Thanks for tolerating my short calls or my short live streams while we're going through this summit. I'll be back to normal on Friday. Have a wonderful day.